What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Derek.
And I'm Kevin.
And together we're last week's album. We're bringing you the only reviews with two different views. And this week we're talking about Look Park by Look Park. And we're asking the big question, does former Fountains of Wayne frontman have it going on Look Park? Cheers, Kevin, everyone at home.
Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
So Look Park is the brainchild of Chris Collingwood, who is the former frontman of Fountains of Wayne. Following their 2011 album, A Sky Full of Holes, Chris Collingwood just kind of decided he didn't really see a future recording with them. Collingwood ended up writing a lot of demos and looking to distance himself from the Fountains of Wayne power pop sound, resulting in Look Park. This album was produced by Mitchell Froom, who's also worked with Elvis Costello and Crowded House. And without further ado, let's talk about what it sounds like. Kevin, what'd you think?
Derek, I thought this album sounds like Burt Bacharach, the Decemberists, and Ben Kweller skip through a park holding hands.
That is awesome. I think Look Park sounds like Ben Folds finds a time machine to become the third member of Simon and Garfunkel and Folds. 5. Let's talk about some highlights. Kevin, what'd you think?
Sure. My first highlight was the catchy melodies and the sort of acoustic pop sounds. I thought they made it really easy on the ears to listen to and just really easy to digest as an album. There was nothing like really jarring to sort of throw you off from the overall sound. I think it's an album that almost anyone can enjoy.
Totally agree. My first highlight was create some enjoyably catchy acoustic jams. You know, ones that really kind of struck that chord, if you will, for me was Breezy, floating keys, easy strummed acoustic guitars, Aeroplane. One thing I thought was really interesting to hear the acoustic and electric guitars get out of the way for a piano solo during the bridge. So I think that was another interesting illustration of Collingwood distancing himself from that Fountains of Wayne power pop sound. And lastly, you can come around if you want to. Strummed acoustic guitar, choppy percussion, hand claps, and catchy vocal melody.
I'm glad you mentioned piano. I thought that was a sort of standout instrument, and it carried the album really well. Definitely set him more apart from Fountains of Wayne to start incorporating a lot more piano. Track-wise, I agree with you. I thought Breezy was a really strong one and really just encapsulated the album both in title and in sound. Minor is the lonely key, I thought was really cool. It had this interesting like Western feel to it that made it sort of stand out from the rest of the album. He hinted at it also a little bit in I'm Gonna Haunt This Place, another sort of Western vibe to that sound, which I thought was an interesting place for him to go and worked really well. And then lastly, Save Yourself. I thought the pining vocals and a really good mix of both piano and guitar helped this one stand out as well.
What about Lowlights? What'd you think?
I've got a couple. I thought his nasally voice was a little one-dimensional. He didn't push himself too hard vocally. I thought he could have done that better, at least provided a little more variety and delivery. And then just lyrically, other than a few tracks like Aeroplane and I'm Gonna Haunt This Place, he didn't really engage me with really interesting subjects or perspectives. I mean, they're great songs, but it's sort of tried and true subject matter in terms of songwriting. And also a lot of references to music, which if you're not super into music, I thought could be a little off-putting.
So now let's talk about the overall rating and answering the big question. Does former Fountains of Wayne frontman have it going on Look Park? Kevin, what'd you think?
Well, much like Stacy's mom, I think he does have it going on. And he's on to something good. Overall, I think he does a great job making this sound distinctly different than Fountains of Wayne, both sonically and lyrically. He's a little more contemplative, a little less tongue-in-cheek than they were with Fountains of Wayne. And I'm interested to see how he can make this even more unique over time. Like I touched on earlier, he gets into this cool Western space on tracks like Minor is the Lonely Key and I'm Gonna Haunt This Place. And those make him sound not only different from Fountains of Wayne, but different from other sort of acoustic pop artists who are sort of similar in vein. But when he takes it there, it gets really interesting for me. So I think he should work some more on that particular sound. So I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5 overall.
Kevin, I think we're going to agree for the most part. As the big question, I think you're spot on. He likes Stacy's mom. They all got it going on. I think this one's great for road trips, or hanging out, but not necessarily a party album. This is a stark departure from Fountains of Wayne. So to longtimes fan, there might be a little out of step, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of good things going on here. I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. So with Kevin's 3, that's a combined 7 out of 10. So go check it out. Look Park by Look Park. Don't forget to tell us what you thought. Thanks again for joining us here at last week's album. Don't forget to subscribe here at the YouTube or the podcast. As always, I'm Derek.
And I'm Kevin.
Cheers, guys.